run JCB now for, well, since 2002 when we started with the first load haul. Then we've slowly worked up into the TM range now. So I'm Phil Taylor from E.Taylor Sons, farming and animal feeds. The farm comprises of 500 acres of land, which we do some arable. We buy store cattle and fatten them, but we also do animal feeds as well, which is predominantly sheep and cattle feeds. And basically, yeah, we use JCB products to help us achieve that really. First TM we bought was back in 2008, which was a TM320S, and the 310 gives us the flexibility of a loading shovel based machine, but also gives us the flexibility around the farm for obviously tight spaces and such like. And we've always really been in close contact with JCB and giving feedback back to the factory of what we'd like to achieve from a TM. And then when the 320 was produced, the machine that we used to run, the 310, it was just worlds apart when we went to the 320. It allowed us more output from the machine, more power. The gearbox was slightly different. Obviously torque lock was then introduced. And yeah, just the business has just learnt to grow around the productivity benefits of having that machine on the farm. So if we fast forward now to present day, we now have the Stage 5 320S, brand new machine. They've asked us to give us our thoughts on the machine, and it arrived on Monday. We're now on Friday. The same thing again as when we went 310 to 320S. So if you notice now, the new TM320 has a moving steering column, and which makes access and generally getting in and out of the cab a lot better. You know, for the size of the machine that it is, manoeuvrability is pretty good. You can get in most places with it. Another good feature that I've noticed with this machine is that the boom lights on the machine, if you depending on what you've got selected on the lighting panel, they only come on when you lift the boom up, so you don't get glare back. Joystick's got plenty of control with it. We bed down with a bucket, just shake the bedding out. Get good control. You can see there, can't you, with the boom, look, you lift it up, lights come on, put it down, lights go off. We run with the door shut probably 99.9% of the time really. So the cab being quiet with the door shut is brilliant, and that mix with the new design seat and the movable steering column, it makes for a really nice place to be. The other nice touch that it has, you can set your button on your joystick here as like a quick key, so you can have your lights on it, and there's a variation of different settings you can put onto your joystick, like answering your phone or, like I said, your lights, which is all little bits of stuff that just make it a nicer place to drive, to be really, and to work. I tend to drive it in automatic, the majority of the time. The only time I really drop down into the lower gears is when I tend to be pushing a pile up or something, heavy work really. But fifth gear in automatic seems very well suited to the majority of jobs that you do. You know, so you're not messing about changing gears all the time. Visibility seems, I don't know how they've done it, but I think they've made the glass slightly bigger and less frame. You know, so the natural effect of what they've done with this machine is that, you know, they've given you more, you know, more sense of space, but you know, manoeuvrability of it, you know, it feels like you're sat in a smaller machine. And it's definitely clear to see with the visibility through the new windscreen. It's like now, if you notice, lifting up in the air, I'm not even having to crick my neck to look down, because you can clearly see the tip of your bucket through the windscreen. Whereas once a day you'd be doing this to have a look through the top. And also with the new wiper on top, it also wipes. So we're just going to go up our driveway now. Bit of a steep incline when we come out of our yard, and now with this machine with its new 8-speed transmission in it, the range difference with the gears, it just seems to keep pulling and pulling. It's torque locked in now in gear 6. You know, it's not even really bat an eyelid. You know, as soon as we're onto the straight now, you know, it's up into 7th, and we're doing just above 30k. Absolutely effortless. When I first heard about them putting the 50k box in this machine, I did have, you know, a few reservations of what it'd be like to drive on the road. But I've got to say, it's as good as driving a tractor on the road. It just doesn't seem to give in. You know, like the smooth ride, you know, the machine has got the 8-speed box, the torque lock, all connected together. Just gives it a really, really stable feeling on the road. You know, you've got an 8-speed transmission, gearbox, torque lock, smooth ride, you know, good seat, quiet cab, good visibility. It's just good all round, really. Like I said, even hitting a bump like that, you know, you don't feel like you're going to bounce all over the road. You know, coming back down the hill. Also, with the 50k option, you also get brakes in both axles. So obviously, going higher speed on the road, you've got more stopping capacity. We should say this JCB goes like it's off a shovel. Dare you to put that in. As farmers, it's, you know, proud to have a British led manufacturer that is, you know, suiting the needs of the agricultural market, really, and listen to the farmer, you know, and they've turned out with, you know, a machine that cosmetically looks really well. And from my point of view, after driving it, I think it's a massive, you know, progression for JCB and the TM range. The service aspect of the machine, we have very little trouble with the machines that we run, but also we have a close connection with Clark and Pullman, who do our service, and then we purchase all the machines off. Downtime is minimal. If there is ever a problem with the machine, you know, they're out, they do fix the machines and keep us running. So yeah, the whole package of JCB and the dealer keeps our business running as good as we can get, really.